Today on our show, we'll be discussing the increasing threat to communities straddling the Chignecto Isthmus as sea levels continue to rise and powerful tropical storms become more common in the region. Connecting New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, the Chignecto Isthmus is a thin strip of marshland protected by a series of dikes and aboitos constructed in the 17th century by Acadian settlers. However, these dikes, made of mud, rocks and other materials, runs the risk of breaching with immense consequences for the low-lying areas behind them. While sea level rise could top the dikes by the end of the century, experts fear even a short-term weather event like post-tropical storm Fiona could breach the dikes soon. Such a circumstance could result in extensive infrastructure damage, including washing out roads, destruction to the waterways, sewage, and homes. Fortunately, both provincial and federal governments are talking and have proposed a $200 to $300 million, 10-year project to either raise or replace the dikes. However, provincial governments in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick are unsatisfied by the federal government's offer of only covering half of the project due to the fact that the potential flooding would affect primarily federal infrastructure like the Trans-Canada Highway and CN rail line. One solution proposed by coastal geomorphologist Jeff Olerhead is to use a more comprehensive, nuanced approach, which would include a mix of bolstering dikes, resettlement, and the restoration of natural salt marshes. This approach may cost more initially than the current proposal, but could likely be cheaper in the long term. Additionally, the salt marshes could help act as a massive carbon sink and generate income if a global carbon trading system ever comes into existence. The sense of urgency for the implementation of this project is widely felt by the people in the region, particularly in Sackville. But until federal and provincial governments come together to agree on a definitive plan, inhabitants of the Chignecto Isthmus will remain at risk from powerful tropical storms, and their future will remain uncertain.